Today we're going to learn how to pose and keyframe within Blender. The most important thing to know when posing and 3D animating, it is a very long process and it needs to be a very patient one. And another thing I'd like to preface, the models that you'll be using have been collected from Sketchfab, so they're probably not going to be the best modeled and rigged. So I've done the absolute best job I can, but some body parts might be disconnected. That's just the way the model has been modeled in Fortnite. So in real industry practice, you'll probably be given much more professionally made models, and they'll be a lot more better configured. But for the moment, this is just for you guys to get used to posing, get used to animating, and just getting that new skill under your belt. Anyway, so I hit the rig from before. You just press the I button here, and that will then hide the rig. So now we want to select the rig, still in object mode, and then we want to switch to pose mode. So now, as you'll see, the character has bones. Each of these bones can be moved, they can be rotated, you can do whatever you want with them, scaling wise. And obviously, just like the real human body, depending on what bone you move, others will be affected around it. So, for example, I'm going to use the wrist joint here, and I'm going to rotate it this way. And you're going to see 2D is moving his arm left and right. So it's all with posing. It's a fairly simple procedure. It's more just understanding the limits of your model. So obviously you're not going to want to rotate his arm behind, though that looks shockingly fine for the most part. You obviously want to make sure that the anatomy is proper. So if, for example, if we did something like this now, where his arm's obviously going inside his socket, it's quite good modeled elbow joint. So that means that you can kind of break him a little bit. Not that you should, but it's an option for you guys. So then if we do something more extreme, so if we move his head all the way back, obviously you'll see that it starts to get a lot more scary and warped. But obviously you don't want to be doing things like this. So I'm going to just create a basic pose of 2D kicking in the air. So I'm going to want to move this leg up, bend this, and then we'll move the foot bone out a little bit. It's important to say as well, the main two tools you'll be using for this are rotating and general movement. Obviously rotating is rotating the bone, and then moving can change the direction of it. Obviously you wouldn't want to do that. This is where understanding how the bones interact with each other comes into play. So obviously if I wanted to move this, it moves the foot up and down. But if I wanted to move it like this, it's a little bit different. It's on an axis. And then we'll just move that like that. So there you go. That's the pose I've decided to use. Hide the rig there. So his knee is bent, his arms up. Have a good time. So that was posing in Blender.